Okay, so this is just a follow-up to yesterday's video, which was ketosis and menopause. And today I just had a couple more questions for you about kind of what a diet would look like for somebody if they were, let's say, in perimenopause, menopause, or even just that early stage of postmenopause, and they're trying to lose some weight, they're trying to get their metabolism fixed.
Right. So we talked about how challenging it is to positively impact your body composition when you're going through transition because typically when we're in our late 40s, early 50s, we're wanting to, in many ways, kind of gain our body back, right? So we've either been focused on being a mom or haven't really fully recovered from the childbearing years, or maybe put on a few pounds as the years have progressed. And so the inclination is to want to lose weight at this stage. And so you might feel thickening around the torso, and those would all be signs that you're becoming insulin resistant. And so we talked a bit about that. And so ideally what you're going to want to do is focus on making small sustainable changes that you can hold consistent during the transition. So you'll never go wrong with increasing your healthy fat, so making sure you're incorporating avocados, lots of olive oil, some butters, some coconut oil. So very much along the lines of the ketogenic diet or working to get yourself into ketosis. Making sure that you're doing a combination of cooked and raw vegetables, not overdoing the kale and the spinach and that sort of thing because of the anti-nutrients. And they're hard to digest and hard to get a lot of nutrition from them. So really focusing on the oils, the things like asparagus and green beans and some brassicas, so your cauliflower, your what's
Broccoli,
that green stuff? Broccoli.
Brussels
Yeah,
sprouts,
exactly.
rutabaga
Exactly.
is technically brassica.
Yeah. And then trying to keep your grains to a minimum or avoiding them altogether, and understanding that as a woman going through perimenopause, there may be times where you do reach for some carbohydrates, and that's not a bad thing.
And so when you're reaching for those carbohydrates, what are the best? Would you say like root veggies, things like sweet potato and carrots?
Yeah,
or...
sweet potato, spaghetti squash, those are nice alternatives to the starchy, like the potatoes, the sweet potatoes. Those you want to steer clear from. And then some resistant starches. So we've talked about this, right? That actually white rice, cooked white rice that's cooled is actually better for you than
potato once it's been cooked and put in the fridge. It's much healthier. The starch becomes more resistant. It almost acts like a fiber as opposed to just a quick access sugar.
Yes. Yeah. So if you were having a bit of a carbohydrate craving, those would be some of the things to reach for. And then shortening your window of time when you're consuming calories, right? So trying to keep that between that 6 and 8 hour window.
Right.
Yeah, so not eating after, let's say, 7 or 8 p.m. and then not starting your first meal until 8 or 9 or 10 in the morning.
Yeah, so the longer you can go without eating throughout the night, and that's everything, right? That's not, it's even supplements, that's even teas, everything but water, right?
Yes. Well, although the tea, like if it's a non-caffeinated tea.
Herbal tea?
Yeah. Okay. Have you heard otherwise on that?
Yeah, there's some evidence to show that it has to be everything because it gives your liver a break. Anything that your liver has to metabolize.
Makes sense.
But that's the work that Sachin Panda is doing on strict fasting, et cetera. But.
Yeah, and so not everybody is going to be able to get into a strict fasting mode. So you're, depending on how much extra weight you're carrying and how insulin resistant you are, you may find that if you try and go too long without eating, you get that hangry feeling. Or that you aren't functioning, so you might be really, really tired. And so you just have to really monitor your own symptoms. So if you don't feel like eating and you're not hungry, don't eat. Don't feel like just because it's noon, I need to eat lunch. But if you are feeling it, if you're tired, if your brain is foggy, if you're not functioning, then you eat.
That's a really important key point, and I think that's just that there's a lot of really good diets out there, but there's no perfect diet for everybody.
Yeah.
You kind of need to feel it out and see how you do best.
And that's where we can be of an asset to people, because you can come in, we can talk a little bit about your situation and customize your supplements and some of the nutrient recommendations and the dietary recommendations we make might be based on a food sensitivity test or just based on where you're at currently, what are some of your symptoms. We kind of help you unpack that and understand a little bit better.
Yeah, totally. So, cool. I think that's everything we need to know today.